15 minutes for them to ask either of us a question. So I'd like to leave some time for that, but we'll see. We'll see how it all flows.
I love it.
Yeah. All right. So it is 9 o'clock. So let's go. All right. Welcome everyone to Intuitive You, how to heal and create the life you desire. I am so happy you're here and just exciting and just, wow, wherever life takes us as our intuition leads, right? And just this amazing woman, Anna Kowalski, man, I don't even know how we met. It was definitely our intuition. And we were just like, yes, yes, let's do this. And it's just been such a divine connection. So Anna, just welcome to the show. You know, I'd love to hear how your intuition brought you here and the calls that you've been listening to from within. And just really, yeah, being here fully present in this moment together for this amazing, amazing time. So welcome everyone. Welcome Anna. Let's dive in.
Welcome, Avi. Welcome, everyone. I know it's so, you know, it's funny because we did meet through a mutual, through a person, which is how intuition works so often, right? It's like, I think sometimes we get lost in thinking we'll get something, right? We'll get an intuitive hit or a knowing. And so often it's somebody else. It comes through another person, right? So I just think it's right on point where you're like, I don't even know how we met. I'm like, how did we meet? That's right. Yeah. Somebody else had a hit to connect us together.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. It's so interconnected. And I love what you said. Sometimes people do say that very thing that we need to hear. Like I was talking to a new client yesterday. She said something I needed to hear. I'm like, you're amazing. You know, like we just are all just really that channel, I believe, of divine love when we open up, receiving it, sharing it. Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. How often do you learn from your clients? Because, right, all the time, things they say to me, things I say to them, I'm like, Anna, listen. And especially if it's like 2 or 3 clients within a short period of time when they're going through something, I'm like, what is there here for me, right? That I need to parse through and hear for myself all the time because we are so connected.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Can't escape it.
Yeah, and everything is interconnected. You know, I've just watched my own life, how everything affects everybody else. And for me to also remember we're a part of that because I was so concerned about, is everybody else okay? And then it was like, oh, we are a part of the oneness. So yes, we're all interconnected and we all get to receive that love for ourselves too, right? So just taking a moment to pause and maybe place your hands on your hearts, like just feeling the compassion and the love and then just the circle of life. And I have this thing with spiders. I think they're so cool because they always do these webs. And I feel like the web just connects us all, you know? And so like, what is it that we're all interconnected and woven together in? It's love, right? Like the path is always love. And the expression that it takes is us, is our life. And the awareness of it as we connect with our intuition, right? This show is about connecting with your intuition to heal and create a life you love. Like, what is that? Maybe you're still in the discovery of what do I really want? What do I love? Like, what makes my heart sing and like my body just light up, you know? And just ask yourself that.
Yeah, totally. And I wonder, like, do you think, because I think we're always in discovery of it, right? Like there are stages that we go through in life and the world is going through stages like right now, right? We're going through a complete upheaval and a complete rearranging of what's going on. Like we get to ask that question all the time. And like, I know for myself, what I wanted 10 years ago is very different than what I want now, right? So being constantly in this inquiry of, what do I want now? What do I want? So I'm going to go back to what you said, Abby, because I think it's really something wanted to come in. So I'm going to give it voice. You know how you said, like, you always pay attention to what other people need, right? Out of generosity. And it's so great and beautiful and so important, right? Like we get to be about everybody else. And because of the work that I do, when we turn to ourselves and ask, what do I want? What do I need? Right? We are then giving that to other people too from that place, right? Yeah. So as much as we are here for others, and I truly believe, and I speak to that, you cannot fulfill your purpose without other people.
Totally. Because we're all here for each other.
Right. Totally. So when we take time for ourselves, right? When we, like this weekend, I disconnected for 24 hours completely, you know, and I was like, and I do it quite often because of where we live. I travel out into areas where there is no cell zone, but I almost don't even count it because I'm somewhere else. But I actually disconnected in a place where cell zone, I am in a cell zone. It's available to me. Wi-Fi is available. And I chose to disconnect. So I'm like, I'm doing it because I want to fill myself up, because I want to be more present this week for my clients, for our conversation. I'm like, I get to start my week with Abby and her audience.
Totally, me too. It's so fun. I love these. They're so fun.
Right? Yeah. So the more we get to give to ourselves, right, and receive what it is we need, the more we have then to flow out for other people. And I think that's right. Like, that's so hard to get sometimes, because we hear so much about give, and be generous, and that all is totally very important and intricate in a harmony.
Right.
But we can't give when we are running on empty ourselves, or when we don't hear. This is another thing that's coming in. When we are not able to hear what we need, how can we possibly really, truly, sincerely give to others what they need?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is just like how it's coming in right now. And I wonder what's there for us to get. Like, if we don't ask ourselves and are not willing to listen, what is it that I need? Are we really able to meet other people's needs? Or are we responding or reacting to whatever we think they need?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that, Anna. I feel like, and you're the perfect person to ask this about, because what was coming in for me as you were talking is worthiness, to actually understand that we're all worthy, every single person, of all the love, all the money, all the health, all the comfort, everything, relationships, everything in the world. And I feel when we get that, and maybe doing some belief work around that for our audience right now, of really believing and owning that power to create, because to me, worthiness is kind of remembering your wholeness, right? Like, who are you not to be worthy, right? Like, there's that quote by Marianne Williamson and Nelson Mandela that says something about, like, who are you not to be? Brilliant, gorgeous, talented, like you're a child of God. And that also yesterday, like for the last week, I just keep crying in awe of the beauty of life. Like, we're all children of the divine, of God, right? So we are held in that wholeness. So who are we not to be? Of course we are. So the wholeness is the remembrance of who we innately are, which is worthy. So I'm wondering if you have a belief. I just feel like your work is so profound and like shifting people into beliefs that support who they are, their intuition, right? And an example, being a millionaire, being intuitive, having all these amazing experiences of like living on purpose and beingness. So is there anything you want to just speak to on that, Anna, for our audience, about that belief shift, right? Like clicking into, yeah, I do deserve this and more. And as I do, my cup runneth over, and I give from the place of my fullness and love.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Totally. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Just one thing, Abby. Just one thing. I'm kidding. So much there. Wow. So let me just see what's coming in. A stream of consciousness, where I want to take that.
Yeah.
So first I'm going to take you and all of you guys who are listening and watching to, if we are created in the image of God, whatever that means to anybody who is listening, right? Which is like, it's in the Bible, it's, it's scripture, we are created in the image of God. Some beliefs even say we are God. Like, whatever way you want to take it, there is a life force flowing through us, right?
Energy, love, because like I have words, I have triggers around God too. So if anybody has like a trigger around God, it's like the universe, love, presence,
same thing.
Presence, right?
Yeah, same thing, totally. Yeah, I grew up Catholic, and I had to deconstruct a bunch of stuff around God for myself. And I'm around Christians a lot, and I had to completely like deconstruct, what do I even believe about all of that, right? Like Christ energy, but not really Jesus Christ as God. So anyway, I get it. But yes, to me, God is the source energy, the life force. It's the love. It's that energy that connects and is all that is, period, right? It flows through all of us.
Right.
So if we are expression of that, right? And does that align with what you, right?
100%. Like, to me, we're an expression of love, which is God. And yes, right. Expression can look at any form. I believe when we're connected to that presence, our expression is loving. Like, we can have moments of like maybe feeling disconnected, like being angry or afraid. And maybe there's something telling us something to not go in that direction, to listen to that emotion or that guidance, to not act in anger or fear, but to act in love, but also to be aware that they're parts of us communicating. right? You know, like, don't go down that street. It doesn't feel right because it's dark, you know, and that may not be safe. Okay, guidance. So I do believe, yes, we are expressions of that, and to act from love and know you're supported in love. So that's why I think the heart keeps, you know, put a hand on the heart, dropping into the gut, moving in that.
Yeah, totally.
Alignment.
Yeah. So there is oneness, right? The energy, that's all that is. And in my perspective, and it isn't my perspective, I just choose to see things that way. We embody particles of that energy that are very unique, and we embody them in a way so the oneness can express itself through every single human being differently, right? Because if it's just this like blob of energy floating around in space, right, it's just one all that is, and it cannot express and experience itself in its uniqueness. It just experiences itself as one thing. So now we human beings are expression of different aspects of that oneness, and through us the uniqueness and individuality can be expressed, yet we still are part of that expression, love, oneness, right, in our unique way. And the only way that this oneness can experience differentiation, individuality, opposites, the only way it can express different experiences of life is through human being, period, right? So going back to we are an expression of that oneness, love, God, as I call it, right? I know anybody who's listening right now has a perspective of that being beautiful, being whole and complete, being something higher than anything we can express in words, right? If you and I and everybody who's listening is an expression of that, so follow the formula, how can we for even a second believe that we don't deserve the best, the greatest, the most that we possibly can hold?
Well, I can tell you what I have told myself, like what has happened with me. So it's like a thought, right? Like I believe we have been taught to almost go against ourselves, like conditioned response. So for me, it was a religion a lot, like if, you know, you can do this, if you wear earrings, you're going to go to hell. I'm like, really? I'm wearing earrings. I'm okay. I'm pretty happy. So like the beliefs. So I do agree with you. Absolutely. But I believe the disconnection is when we've been taught against our true nature. And so to remember and go back to the truth that lives within us of, oh no, that actually doesn't feel right. My intuition says I am a child of God. My intuition says I do deserve this, right? So to correct the misperceptions of thought, to me, that's the block. And quite honestly, a lot of times those get manifested in the body as like disease, and things are really serious of the thought connects with an emotion that creates a belief that lives in the body until you release it and realize, nope. That's why I love intuition, right? It connects you to the truth of your purpose and who you are. And like, it's really real, you know?
Yeah, totally. Right on. And yeah, it's conditioning. It's what we have taken on. I mean, let's go back into prior lifetimes, right? We do genetically carry memories. So it's not just the stuff that you and I grew up in as children.
Right.
And even if we grew up, I love it when people say, oh, I had the best childhood. I had a loving childhood. Well, in the work that I do, so I'm going to bring in my tool. Is that okay if I start talking about the hand analysis now? So I use scientific hand analysis to help people remember aspects of themselves that they came here to embody at the soul level. A part of that is also that there is something that we may call not, I mean, we call it a lesson in hand analysis, but I'm learning to say it differently. Less desirable experiences, like the darkness, right? The shadow, right? Like what we call it. And so, and I was going to have a side thought, but I'm just going to go with what I have. I know, right? So cool. What's coming in? So in hand analysis, and it's actually been proven to me over and over and again through my own experience and my clients, there is an experience that soul, part of the wholeness, right, wanted to have, that this human that I am embodying wanted to know, how can I master, and for example, for me, how can I master the experience of not speaking up for what I believe? That's part of my lesson, right? Not speaking up for what I believe, not using my voice for what really matters to me. So I have we can have one or several different lessons in hand analysis, and that's the beauty of it, right? Once we know the lens, we can start seeing things that we get stopped by through that lens. So I'm going to use just one for the example. The soul that embodied in this body, right, as Anna this lifetime, wanted to learn how to master going mute when something really matters. So not speaking up for what's really important to me. Now I could say, hey, it's a lesson. It's terrible. I don't like it. Part of my lesson is about money and the worthiness too, right? What I say doesn't have value. What I teach doesn't have value. What I bring to the world doesn't have value, right? Like that's part of my lesson. And the lesson means that my soul wanted to experience, how do I become bigger than that lesson? How do I constantly keep proving myself that it's not really true, that I am part of oneness, that my intuition can guide me into owning that, no, actually, because I am part of something bigger and part of the oneness, right? That energy flows through me. When I own it, what I share, what I speak about that really matters to me has value. And if I speak it to the right people, they will actually receive exactly what they need. And I don't have to hold myself back from speaking up. Now, some people can say, oh, a lesson is something terrible. I don't want it. I want to heal it. I want to make it go away. I learned, and my clients prove it to me over and over again, we are born into the environments that support the lowest vibration of that lesson. So for example, I would be born in a country where speaking up is actually dangerous, right? I was born during the time, I was born in Poland, communist country. I was there up until my teenage years. So it's that sense of, right, children don't speak, they're only seen, right? Don't say, like, I remember at one point when I was a kid, I would just share things. And at some point, my teachers called in my parents to let them know that maybe they should teach me some things are not okay to talk about. So I took on a lesson of, I better not say everything, but I don't know what's okay to say or not, right? My parents meant really well. I had a best childhood, yet still at the soul level, I have made a contract with my parents that they will have certain beliefs that then will teach me how to go mute, do not use my discernment, or not even know how to use my discernment. And as I keep going through life, constantly keep shutting up about things that matter. So it's not like I'm not outspoken, right? But it's a lesson for me to constantly speak up about what matters to me and not withhold. When I start feeling sense of, oh, is it okay to speak about it, right? So that's where worthiness comes from too, right? Because am I worthy of seeing myself as bigger than this challenge my soul wanted to experience, overcoming over and over and over again? It's never going to go away, right? So it's not like, I love it when we focus on purpose, like, this is what I'm here for, this is the beautiful part of what I came here to experience. And we kind of want to forgo the shadow, yet the gift is in a shadow, because the more I speak, the more I know, I confirm my value to myself, the more universe and the world and my environment feedbacks to me, feedbacks, that is a word, gives me a feedback that I have value, and it shows up in the form of money, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's interesting, the shadow piece. So, I think rather than staying stuck in it, it's almost bringing light to it. So it's like we've all gone through those experiences. That particular experience is done, but to bring light to the shadow, I believe what you're saying can illuminate the lesson and actually make us stronger and more of who we are, in which case we're shining that light and that's being reflected. Right? Back
100%. You got it.
Yeah. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
So to face your fears with love.
Yes. Yeah. Face the fears, the challenges, maybe the things we think are not okay with us. So again, hand analysis. And I love using it because that tool gave me a beautiful way to talk about these things, right? We have everything in hand analysis has the shadow side and a master side. Every single aspect of who we are that shows in hands, right, has the both sides. So even with purpose, right? So let's go back to lesson. There are aspects of ourselves that the soul wanted to experience that are less desirable, like not speaking up for what I want, right? Not sharing what really matters to me. Who would want that? But on the mastery side, I use my voice to teach and raise vibration, right? So when I learn to move through this fear and a belief that I don't have anything valuable to speak about, I can move into the mastery, which is speaking up about speaking up with a sense of belief and allowing the frequency to come through me so people can benefit from it. Same thing with purpose, right? So for example, I have a purpose. Let me use this one. Part of my purpose is on personal power, and it has to do with passion and zest on the mastery side. Beautiful. It's part of my purpose. However, it comes with a shadow side as well, which is shame. Who would ever want to choose shame as part of their experience? Yet every single time that I allow shame to take me over in any way, aspect or form, or say I can't have something and withdraw, because that's aspect of it as well. I can't have it. The victim, right? The victim, I can't have it. Somebody else can have it, not me. I deny my purpose, which is to be passionate, to be zestful, to be empowered, and know that I can have anything I want, right?
Yeah.
So it's,
I love it.
right? So the more we can constantly move, and intuition is key, 100% bringing it back to intuition, right? Trusting ourselves that every single time I feel shame, that is my intuitive, that is my knowing, that is my intuition, my higher self telling me, hey, there is something here that you are not owning about yourself, right? You don't have to deny it. You can be with shame, right? You can love yourself for feeling it. Don't stay there. Don't stay there. Let it inform you. Where is this that you are denying your passion? Right?
Flip to the opposite.
Flip to the opposite. And this is how I own my worth and my value. I am worthy. I am worthy. This is just coming through this way so beautifully. I am worthy of, in that moment, owning that I don't have to stay in the feeling that doesn't feel good, like shame, right? I don't have to make this part of who I am for more than 2 seconds or more than I need to. I am worthy of shifting into passion. Totally. Yeah. Shed the light. Like you said, I love it. Shed the light on that part that didn't feel so good. And then see, but this is where I think a lot of people, even the ones who do a lot of work, I mean, I know I'm still there. I mean, I don't think we'll ever not be there. It really takes something when we are in that moment to not wait for permission, not wait for somebody to tell us, hey, you can actually switch that switch. You can flip that switch.
Yeah.
You are worthy of it.
Yeah.
But I think conditioning and so many, I mean, genetic memory, what we carry in our bones from women especially because you and I are women, but the same goes for men.
Yeah.
We carry so much memory about why it wasn't okay to be happy, right? To be in our glory, to own our worthiness and our highest vibration available, right? So it takes something, like, it's so often, it's literally, I mean, I will tell my clients, listen, you don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay feeling the way you do if you don't like it. If you want to stay there, go ahead. Just know it's creating your reality this way, right? You're creating your reality from the feeling it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right? Something is, you're getting something out of it. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be feeling the way you do if you weren't getting something. Now, do you want what you're getting or do you not? Usually, what are we getting? Recognition for something, right?
Or safety. I think one of the biggest things is feeling safe.
Yeah, recognition, safety. We may even get love. Right? Yeah. So the basic human needs, something here. Ask yourself, like, is this the way I want to get? Is this the way I want to feel safe? Is this the way I want to get love? Is this the way that I want to get recognition? Right? Or do I want to switch into the other side, the higher vibration, and feel worthy of still feeling safe, but in a different aspect of it, the higher vibration aspect of it, the mastery aspect of it. And the same thing works with money, right? So I love talking about money, and I know you said worthy, right? So it goes into anything, but money is the most tangible feedback we get about where we are vibrationally in frequency. If you're in luck, if any of us, right? Not you, I mean the universal you. When we are in luck, when we are in any of those lower vibration feelings, we are denying ourselves something. We really can't attract a good flow of prosperity into our lives, right?
So I just want to repeat back, because your accent's so beautiful. I love it. But what I think you heard is your lack, not luck. So when you're in lack, you're denying your
LACS.
prosperity. Yeah, exactly. So to switch from lack to, again, what do you need? Or to yourself, what do I need? And to move into that frequency of greater prosperity and abundance. To not deny yourself what you need.
Yeah, totally. And when we do it, so this is great. Like, I love where this conversation is going. So it's like we think money is safety, right?
Mm.
And security. Like, we have a perception in our society that when I have enough money, I'm safe and secure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's total baloney, right? And if we're trying to manifest money from these lower vibrations because it will make us feel safe and secure, holding on to whatever we have. Like, how many times do we have conversations with people and they're like, especially clients, like, if our listeners are working with people, this is such a big thing for us to get, especially light workers, because there is this, like, and I'm just pulling on one string, focusing on what will I lose when I invest in something. In this moment, using what I have, I will be giving up what I already have. I don't want to lose it because I feel safe having it. But at the same time, I'm like grabbing onto it, right?
Right.
I don't want to lose it. I have it. It makes me feel safe. But that's baloney, because you're grabbing onto something, believing nothing more will come in. So if we can shift into the other frequency of I'm using what I have to expand money, myself, and where it's going in the universe, and focus on, I am not losing it, I'm gaining something through it. And by being in, I'm gaining something through it, I'm opening up space for even more to flow in. So it's, again, switch, I'm worthy of that, right?
Yeah.
We can.
And then I think it's, how do you maintain the feeling of safety, right? Because I know from studying the subconscious mind and our belief systems, you have to, its primary objective is to keep you safe, right? So how do you move through that transition of your next level, feeling safe?
Well, intuition, definitely.
Right. And I was going to ask you how you connect to yours, but yes, intuition, right? First step is connect to your intuition, the soul within you. How do you connect to your intuition?
Yeah, right. And feeling safe in your body is number one. Creating sense of safety in your body is number one.
How do you do that? Yeah, just to feel, like, even to bring people into a place of stillness, and settledness.
Yeah, because even money, right? Money is an external condition. So if you, and I bring it into money because it's part of my work. It's a huge part of my work. Anything that's externally makes you feel safe and secure is baloney, because it could all go away and you are making it a condition for you to feel safe. So keep coming back. Yeah, keep coming back to center. Keep coming back to, in this very moment, I am safe. Unless somebody's chasing me with a gun or a knife, right? Then I run. And my safety is in knowing that I can. Right? And then bringing it even higher. So first, safe in your body, but then bringing it even to higher vibration. At the soul level, I am not safe. I am never not safe. At the soul level, I'm never not safe. Some story makes me believe that in this human experience, certain things make me feel unsafe. Right? But at the soul level, I am never not safe. So let's say that I do get killed. Let's say we bring it into like an extreme. I'm in a dangerous situation, right? And I get killed. So what? My soul continues through another experience. This life ends, another one starts, right? So this is a very high level esoteric conversation. But if we can come back to that place, right? Like, maybe that's what my soul wanted to experience, what it's like to be stabbed. That's the place I keep coming back to myself all the time, that even when I feel unsafe, it's not like, even though I share these things, right, I still feel unsafe and uncomfortable. So I shifted out of unsafe. Is it unsafe or is it uncomfortable in a moment? Like, something about this situation, me stretching into my next level of experience, makes me feel uncomfortable. Thus, I feel not safe because it's new. I haven't been here. I don't know what to expect. I'm not safe. But if I trust myself that I have everything I need and require at every moment, and if I don't, I can ask for support from living or unseen forces, right? I'm resourceful enough to allow myself and worthy enough to have that even in the place that I'm stepping into that I don't know what it looks like, which makes me feel uncomfortable and unsafe, I am always provided for everything I want and need and require, which means support from unseen forces, and seen forces asking for help from people who may have been there.
Mm.
Right? And if I get stuck, I can ask, how do you deal with this situation, right? That makes me feel unsafe. But I put unsafe and discomfort sort of in the same bucket for myself for now. When I feel uncomfortable, I feel unsafe. But it's really a discomfort because I haven't been there before.
It's a really
Right?
good discernment. It's a really good discernment. And just, you know how a dog can walk into a room and it can like detect if something really is truly unsafe or not? Because it's like picking up the senses. So it's like your body is safe, you are okay, but you're in an uncomfortable, stretching, growing pain situation. I think we all are. Like, I don't think anybody right now is not. I just think it's kind of like, you know, up leveled really quickly at a fast pace for the whole world. So I think we're all in that, you know, growing pain, like next vibrational living. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
we
For
all
sure.
are. Yeah. And the discomfort comes, I think for a lot of people, the discomfort and the fear and not feeling safe will come from trying to hold on to something that no longer works.
Serves them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and to let go, and to let go. I'm also being guided to share. We're actually starting this Friday at noon, the Circle of Abundance. So today, this is like crazy. I just was guided last night to be like, okay, anybody that wants to come for $5, just this time you can. And I'm going to take that and donate it directly to One Heart Global because we have children in Ecuador right now needing our help. And so they're associated with Shri and Kira at Oneness Talk Radio. And they just sent me a video. And so they need supplies, they need things right now for these kids. And so just know when you join this Friday at noon, you can go to One Heart Global /mission. And I believe the donate now button is on there, or just go to the donate. That will be directly given to them to support them. And then it's just abundance that we all have, right? Like I have that, you know, time I can give. Most likely whatever you can give, if you can donate the $5, that's given to somebody else. So it kind of works. Again, it's what you said, it's the overflow. Abundance is I want to serve, and from this overflow I can give. And so really just being in that, you know, in the Intuitive Success Club, all my students in that, you do not need to pay anything. You can if you want, it's just a donation. But it's like really open up to where are you abundant in your life already?
Yeah.
Right? So we're growing, and let's look at what we have. What is the solid ground we are standing on? These loving connections, right? This radio show, you know, where we live, whatever it is. So maybe take a moment just to breathe in like the abundance, the wealth, the love, the connection around you, and us uniting in that presence of love together. Like almost every time I feel my heart connect in just like a circle, like the circle of life, right? Like as I go into that heart space, like we are all in that same circle. So just to be in that, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add, but that just came through really strong in that
Oh
moment.
no, I love it. No, that's so great. And it's amazing. And like you said, whether it's whatever you can give, whatever you in the moment. I love one of my teachers the other day said, hold on, because I want to see how it's coming in. Let me just say it this way. We always have something to give. Always, always, always have something to give, right? Even if it's a smile to a person passing by, we always have something to give. Always, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love it.
Did you feel that? Because
yeah, I totally feel it. Well, the truth is I was just remembering like way back when, like probably more than 10 years ago, one of my business coaches told me I was really generous. And I was like, what? Because at that time I didn't have a whole lot of money to give. Like it's different now, like I'm able to give more financially, but I was like, how am I generous? I'm not giving money. And she was like, you're so generous with your heart, with how you give. And I was like, oh, thank you. So for those of you that maybe aren't recognizing what you do give, like you said, smile, love, heart, your presence, you know, your presence is huge. Like holding space for somebody, oh my gosh, you know? So like you're so valuable, whatever it is, you know? And by the way, if you want to do more, you can, right? It's donation, right? If you want to do more than 5, do that and it goes there, right? Like it's just like, just do what feels right, but focus on what you do have and let that be the cup runneth over. You know?
yeah. And I mean, how many stories have I heard, and I'm sure you have too, Well, people give like their almost last $5 towards something they really felt called to, and then something opened up, an opportunity for abundance opened up in their life, just because they were giving in a moment. And again, this is not gift to get. This is like, and I know you get it. Like, this is not gift to get. Yeah, I love that you remember that conversation with your teacher. Yeah, I mean, it really is like, I remember having conversation with a gentleman years ago, and he was disabled. He was a friend of a family. He was disabled. He was very much in this dark place of like, I have nothing to give to the world. And he wasn't saying it this way. He was just in a pit of despair of where his life was. I mean, he literally, the drapes had to be drawn during the day because he didn't want that daylight in. He was really just at this bottom of an experience of life. I won't say he was suicidal because that never came out, but he was definitely at a very bottom. And I think a lot of people might find themselves in places close to that right now, as they're, as things are dismantling, right? As we're being bombarded by experiences that are unique and different to anything we've ever experienced, right?
Yep.
We might find ourselves in that place. And I remember having a conversation with him and bringing him back to, great, you can't get a job, so you're not contributing to your family. You can't go anywhere because you're disabled. Like, these are the things he was focusing on. This is what I can't do. This is what I don't have. And at the end of the conversation, we came to, I asked him, I'm like, just dig in your heart, dig deeply in your heart, and look at, what do you do have right now that could really serve somebody? And he goes, well, I used to love going to senior homes and spending time with people there, and I just didn't have enough time. I'm like, heck, you got plenty of time now. I mean, you're just sitting here, which he's disabled, but he can get himself places. And I remember just recognition that he could go and maybe spend an hour. And then we actually ended up, what he did choose is to write letters. So he started to write letters. I don't know how much longer he did it because we lost touch, but he said, I'm going to write letters and have my wife bring them over to the old age home, the senior home. People can read it. And I remember, like, him and I were talking about it, and he goes, I'll write letters. Something opened up for him because he could give that, right? He could give words of kindness, maybe of compassion, maybe share the pain he is in, so somebody who's reading can feel seen and heard. So, and I think that's so amazing, because from any place, wherever we are, no matter what we don't have, there's always something that when we give this makes us feel wealthy, whole, abundant, full, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So even when you're giving your last $5 to a cause that your heart opens up to, you have no idea how much more is going to flood in because you just opened up your heart.
Yeah. And it's just a knowing. I guess I really want to support everybody in the knowing of your intuition. Like, I was just talking to the same amazing new client, which honestly, they're all like soul friends. And she was just, reminding me, it's like, and I told her, I said, it's what feels right. It's the next step that feels right. And there's a knowingness. And I had the experience that you're talking about probably a week ago. And you guys and gals, everybody watching, I literally watched somebody's face physically. Like, I can see with my third eye, like different things, images. This was with my physical eye. Somebody's face literally changed into somebody else. Like, I saw their face. It looked like somebody else's face. I was like, oh my God. And I heard, you need to give that person $50. And I went to PayPal and I sent them $50. But somebody's physical face, I'd never in my life watched that physical transformation. Like I said, with my physical eyes, not my third eye, I was blown away. And so I sent that $50, and I think more has just been coming in, but I was like, it was that same, it's knowing, it feels right, do it. It opens the floodgates for something more. But even if you don't know for sure why, but if you have that knowingness of your intuition, then know it's coming from your soul.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I love it. Yeah, so great.
So Anna, I know you do amazing work with people. I want to give you an opportunity just to share a little bit about your business and the work you're doing. I know my mom even got to talk to you. I felt so happy about that. And, just the work you're doing in the world, if there's anything you want to share about, like purpose to prosperity, and of course your email, so people can connect with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So it goes back to pretty much the whole conversation we've been having right now. It's this like unique expression of who we came here to be, right? So it's this life force, God force, source, love flowing through this physical body, making us the human that we are. And it's unique expression that could not exist in any other way than the way it is right now. right? Coming through this body, this lifetime,
Mhm.
plus combined with all the experiences that this physical human, do you hear the noise on the
Yeah.
background? Sorry,
Yeah,
I
it's
have
okay then.
no idea what it is.
Don't worry. Don't worry.
This is my lesson of going mute, right?
No.
Somebody's trying to outspeak me. It's so funny. No idea what it is. So it's this recognizing and remembering. I used to call it discover, and people still say discover your purpose, right? In my work, it's not like that at all. You don't discover your purpose. What you do is you remember who you came here to be. And it is at the soul level. Soul wanted to have a certain set of experiences in a certain way. It came here to feel, what is it like to be creative? Or what is it like to speak up? What is it like to be abundant, right? And everybody has access to all of that, yet every single one of us has a specific set of orders from our soul that soul really wanted to make sure that it does happen this lifetime, right? When we start owning that, including the shadow of a lesson, right? And shedding a light and owning it with love. Oh, okay. So my lesson is not speaking up. And I could completely just disregard it, right? Just go on with my life and never speak up about what matters, speak about what doesn't to me, right? And thus diminish my self-worth. Or I could shed the light, go through discomfort of speaking up and questioning, is this something people want to hear, right? Trusting my intuition, what flows through, and sharing. Owning all of that the soul came here this lifetime to experience it. When we step into that, we can actually 100% of the time see when we decided that it's not okay to be that too.
That it's not okay to be our soul.
To be ourselves. Yeah, to be that expression. 100% of the time, we remember some moment in time when we knew exactly who we were and we decided it wasn't okay. Oh, it happens over and over again. Start owning it again. Start really stepping into it. And when we do that, that's being on purpose. That's being on soul purpose in my work. Once we do that, the work we came here to do, which is what everybody is really seeking, like, what is it that I came here to do, right? It only opens up when we be who we came here to be. Then we can follow our intuition step by step. Conversations people are asking, things people are asking us for. We can start trusting that those are indicators of the work we came here to do, which still is fluid and opens up constantly, right?
Mm-hmm. I love it. So well said. So beautiful. It's just truth. It's like when somebody says truth, you're like, yep, that feels right. Like what you're speaking. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, I've walked this earth for almost 2 decades, having a ton of money, giving it all up, having a ton of money, getting rid of it, having a ton of money, making it disappear, like whatever you want to call it. Had it, didn't have it, have it, didn't have it. And I constantly went into that doing. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Until the truth of being started to really, really sink in, really sink in. And it's a journey. It's the journey we are on right now as human beings to really own our beingness. And it doesn't mean sitting on a couch and humming or umming, right? We still get to engage in some kind of contribution, but that contribution will only be meaningful if we be in that frequency we came here to embody.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Right. That's what I was just going to say. The beingness is the vibration of you.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes.
And, your intuition will guide you to be more of that frequency of your soul.
Yes. Yeah. And it's funny because whenever we speak about individuality and uniqueness, I think so often we still connect to my individuality comes through the clothes I wear, or my individuality comes through how I walk. All of that is true, yes, but it's the external expression of that, right? The individuality that we speak about in a beingness, it's really knowing that the way you be happy is like nobody else be happy, right? In a way that I express passion is a way that nobody else will express. Nobody else's passion will look exactly like mine, and it will spark something in people that nobody else can spark, right? The way you express your generosity, nobody else will be as generous the way you are, right? They will take the same action.
Well, they can't because they're different. They're generous in their way. Yeah,
exactly. Totally, right? And they may take the same actions, but the frequency behind it will be different. So it will open up different tunes. It will open up different tones in the harmony that we are, the symphony of life that we are.
Beautiful.
right? And it takes, I mean, it really baffles my mind when I start really watching it, you know, in people, because I think so often we look for a foolproof formula,
Yeah.
right? The step of 1, 2, 3. How did you get there? What did you do to create this business? What did you do to get these clients, or
Yeah.
create that offering? There is a formula, yes. And until you really own that frequency that you bring in and bring that into it, you're just going to be on a hamster wheel, and a hamster wheel no longer hamster.
Wow. No,
Wheel.
your accent's perfect. I got you. You know what though? You're the formula. Like even in
Yes.
the intuitive success coaching process, people are like, oh, well, how's it going to work? I'm like, I have the structure, but you actually have the steps. You have the way, because
Yeah.
your intuition is going to absolutely show you the way.
Yeah, and intuition is the language of that frequency. Totally. It's how your higher self communicates with you. So you,
Right.
the human being, right?
Right.
And then going back to thoughts. So bringing it
Right.
a full circle, right? Like, you know how you spoke about the thoughts that we
Yes.
create with. When you start overriding your thoughts and not believing every single thing your mind says, and just start asking, like, I mean, we have, I don't remember the statistics, but we run thousands of thoughts per minute. Right? There is something that we say, and there are 64 things to back it up because of our experiences in life. So it takes vigilance and rigor to question every single thought. But if we can, just for a moment, when we get a hit, right? Intuitive hit is what I'm talking about, right?
Intuitive guidance.
Not, yeah, follow it right away. I mean, unless it tells you to jump off a cliff, which is never, intuition would never tell you to do that. But everything else, like giving the person $50, you're going to have 20 thoughts that come after that, 64 apparently statistically, that will say you shouldn't do it and the reasons you shouldn't do it. 64
And that
thoughts.
happened. That totally happened. And I knew I had to do it right away too. I was like, first thing when I get home, I got to do it. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're going to have thoughts as you, right? As you're going home
Mhm.
after this, you're going to have thoughts. It's like, nope, I'm only going to stick to the first intuitive hit that I got, because I knew it was true. I knew it in that moment. I'm not going to listen to any of the thoughts, because the thoughts are just memories of experiences we've had that then we decided, this is how the world is. This is what's true for me. This is how I stay safe, right?
Yeah. 100%.
If we can, yeah, if we can just keep them there, just, yeah, awesome. I'm just going to watch you like a movie that I've replayed over and over that kept me stuck in a certain way.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And I'm just going to keep and give that. I'm going to keep going. And as soon as I get home, I'm going to press the button and I'm going to give the $50 to this person, period. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like dazed like that because I'm integrating what you're saying, because it's 100% in my experience.
Yeah, you operate like that. I know you do. And I'm sure so many of our listeners, and we still constantly, even as I'm saying this, it's a reminder to me. Like right now, I'm telling my brain, remember this, Anna. It came out of your mouth.
Right. Right.
Remember
Yeah.
this is right. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. I love it. I love it. Well, is there anything else you want to share? We're going to flip over to the call board here pretty quick, and I'm going to see how it works. Like I said, anybody that wants to call in, what I'm probably going to do is repeat back the question, so Anna and I can hear it and everybody else can hear it, because the audio, we've just been at it for a couple of weeks and something's just not quite right. So I'd repeat back your question and then answer you. So anybody that wants to call in, that's probably how it's going to work today, unless for some miraculous way we're all able to hear, but I might just do it, yeah, by chance. And then let's see, anybody else, if you guys want to know more about the Intuitive Success Club that I'm talking about with clients in the process I work with, you can email me, Abby, ABBY, at lifeforceconnection.com. So, all right. So I think what I'm going to do, let's see if I can do this. It's still new for me. Bria's still teaching me how to do this. So
I love it.
I'm going to go ahead and try. Anna, you might get a little faded in the background. So we're going to see. Anna, can you hear me?
Yep. Yes, I can.
Okay, you can hear me. I can't totally hear you. So I'm going to go *3 and see if we have presentation. I just have to switch it to presentation mode. Not entirely sure. I'm going to pop on and see if this works. If not, I'll pop right back on.
Okay. I'll hang out.
Okay, I'm going to try it one more time. We'll see how it works. If not, we'll just have to wait till the technology is on. So the call-in number is 517-208-1500. I sent this to a lot of people, but. Okay, so everything is usually muted. So we'll just go ahead and see how this works, if this works. Anna, you can hear me okay, right?
Oh yeah, I'm still with you.
Okay, that's awesome. You can hear me. I actually can hardly hear you. So we can just continue the conversation and see if this pops up and how it works, if we have people calling and how I can do it. Is there anything else you want to share about when you've followed your intuition and your purpose? What has happened? Like the amazing positive results you've seen?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. And I'll share with you positive results and things that maybe I at the time were uncomfortable, that I didn't see as positive.
Yeah.
But my favorite example, I mean, I've had so many, but my favorite example is when I decided to move to Colorado. And I literally, it was after a series of questions and asking and meditating and spending time in nature. And finally, I woke up in the middle of the night and I just got moved to Colorado. And I still resisted it because I've been to Colorado once. I lived in New York at a time, Manhattan. And the hit I got was to move to Colorado and to move. So that's where I live now. It was to move to Durango, Colorado, which I don't know if you've ever been to Durango, but it's a little bit of, it's a great little town, but and there is the airport, but I was living in Manhattan and I lived on Long Island before in Westchester. I was constantly in a spaces of a lot of people, access to anything that I ever wanted, airport half an hour away. And my intuition told me to move to Durango, which there was really not much around, right? I didn't know a soul in Colorado, which I learned I did, but at the time I didn't. So I kind of, I shifted my intuition a little bit and I started asking, well, what if we did Denver, Colorado?
I've done the same thing. Like, wait.
Let's negotiate here. Okay, let's talk about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so within 6 weeks, I was packed and I moved. I actually chose to move to a town between Denver and Boulder, just because some people told me certain things. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a try. That was 5.5 years ago. And it at the very beginning, when I moved here, it was very challenging. And I did question several times, why did I do this? I had all my support network. I had my work was in New York. I was established. Why did I move? I questioned, but I questioned only enough to vent. I questioned only enough to vent. Because in the end, I still stayed and I kept moving forward. And everything that I've created, I mean, 5 years later, I look back and I'm like, wow, the experiences that I've had and what I was able to create to be prepared for where we are right now. 5 years ago, I really didn't know we were going to be in the circumstances we are in right now, right? I mean, energetically, in spiritual worlds, in spiritual circles, there was a conversation of certain things shifting, things happening, new dimension, opening up, and new earth being created, but not really to a degree to which we knew exactly what was going to happen. And I have to tell you that if I could only project my life where it was 5.5 years ago, if it kept going in that direction and I didn't move, I know, because history tells me my choices and my circumstances, I would have not been in this position where I am right now, being able to support people to build their lives based on their purpose, tap into the frequency, never mind the environment and never mind the circumstances, but really create from nothing what it is that we truly desire, because that's where we are right now. We get to create everything. Is our physical reality is so moldable. And the physical reality we've been living it for a very long time is really going away. It's disappearing. Systems are going away. Everything is crumbling. And I mean it with love, and I love it. As uncomfortable as it is, we get to create something new, a new way of being a human being together in harmony, right? And being in that higher frequency of abundance, there's no competition. So think about it. If you really, this is the part I love the most. If we really buy into, and I really am air quotes, buy into that we are individual human beings expressing an individual frequency that nobody else can express, competition goes away, right? We no longer have to compete for our piece of the pie. Now it's our own responsibility to own our worth and value so we can expand, to attract more into our experience, so we can then give even more, right? Be even more generous, whether it's physically or emotionally or energetically, right? That's where we are right now. We are going away from, I have what I have and I better like hold on to it because I don't know when next one is coming. That's a very primal human experience, which we are totally just getting rid of.
Yeah.
And truly moving into. So if I didn't move to Colorado, right? And I didn't move to Durango, I did stay in Boulder, now I'm in Denver. And now we're heading west to be deeper in the mountains. But if I didn't take that step, I know, like if I project trajectory, right, of where my life was going, I would have still been taking tiny little steps towards my purpose. I would have not been able to step into it the way that I have. So now I can support people in stepping into theirs. So they can play the role they came here to play in creating the new earth the way that their soul has intended.
Yeah, I love
Right?
it. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I recently had similar guidance. I'm going through it. It's like, go here, and then I get a stop sign. And then it's like, okay, it's a flow, but to trust whatever the moment is telling you, right? And your intuition. But when you get those hits, act on them and trust them.
Yeah. And I love that you just said, like, when's the stop sign stop, right?
Right.
Green. It really, I still do this all the time. I'll get a hit on something, make a left, and I'll make a left and I'll run into somebody. And the person is like, oh my God, I was just thinking about you.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave you this big example, life-changing example, right?
Yeah.
But it happens on daily basis where I'll have it's simplest one is take umbrella when it's sunny outside. And all of a sudden I go over to Boulder and it's raining. I'm glad I had an umbrella, right?
Right. Totally.
Yeah.
And it prepares you for something too. I think that's the other thing I've been told, and you've been like, there's a preparation that gets you ready for the next step, the next support.
Yeah, I love that, because you know how there is this quote about luck is a combination. Luck is a L-U-C-K this time. Luck is a combination of preparation and skill. I can't remember what the other one is.
Needs preparedness or something. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Being prepared. And I think that in the context that we are bringing into, prepared means I have everything I need and require in this moment for whatever it is I'm stepping into, because I am tuned into all the insights I'm getting from the field. My intuition tells me what to have, what to read, what to listen to, what to put out to the universe, what to create, even if I don't know what I'm creating it for. That's the preparation, right? And then when I find myself in the next level of growth, where it's uncomfortable and unsafe, all of a sudden I have this program ready to offer, or right, or I have some skill that I have gained along the way, or I read something that I can now share with somebody who really needs it, and this person now becomes part of my circle, and now together we create something. I mean, it's like, doesn't it blow your mind, Abby?
Well, it does. And I've done it for so long. And I think I'm being asked to my next level, like we all are. But you and everybody else, everybody's a part of it. Is like even the intuition to income show you're on. It's like the people I met totally took me to my next level. And now the clients I get to work with from it. So it's like, it is exactly what you said. It's the people you meet, the connections you make, the new insights you have, the new programs that come, which is all service. But like we're in that. You just said we're doing it right now. Like you and I and everybody here, like it's happening.
Yeah. And that's the preparation. Like we have no idea what the next step is. We don't know, but we know we're going to keep dancing. I know that, right? And preparation has taken us trusting along the way to all these hits of like, connect with this person. Right.
Yeah. And it's just the next step too. This is what I'm telling myself literally right even before the show. I called my mom. I'm like, it's just the next step, not 2 steps ahead. It's just the next step. Mm-hmm. And that's enough.
That's it. Yeah. I love it. So great, Abby. Yeah.
Well, I love you. Anna, did you share your information yet so people can reach you? Did you share?
I didn't. Not yet.
I didn't think so.
Okay, so here we go. You can email me at Anna, A-N-N-A, at Anna, A-N-N-A, Kowalska.com, Anna at annakowalska.com. My website is annakowalska.com. And I do have another website, Sacred Success Salon, which is the series. That's easier to remember, sacredsuccesssalon.com.
Nice.
Another way to find me. I'm all over social media at Anna, the Manifesting Artist. At Anna, the Manifesting Artist. So that's another way to find me.
Awesome. I love it.
Thank you, Abby. Yeah.
Yes, you're so welcome. Thank you for being here. It's just such a joy. And I recommend that you guys reach out to her and connect with her. She's just such an amazing soul and comes from such purpose and just connection, so I just
Thank
really
you.
feel blessed. And if you want me to recommend or email me at lifeforceconnection.com, I'll forward it here. If for some reason you can't spell her name, just send me an email and I'll forward it.
Awesome.
Anything else, Anna, that you want to share with the audience?
No, this is great. I want to second the invitation to your Friday abundance circle. We need to be in a space of abundance. So I love that you are creating that. Yeah. So tell your audience one more time about it. I want to hear it.
So it's actually every Friday at noon, but for this Friday at noon Pacific, so the first Friday every month. And so the Circle of Abundance is coming together in this vibration, being in the vibration of abundance, intuition, love, supporting each other. And then the way we're living that is we're taking, whatever you contribute for this month directly to the orphanage with the kids in Ecuador. So, and supporting them, getting the supplies that they need, and, just taking care of them.
So great. I love it.
So yeah, I'll probably do a cool intuitive success coaching process, of course, and whatever comes through in that moment together. It'll be through Zoom, so it'll be live. And you guys, I believe we can have quite a few, probably up to 50 people, I think. So you guys can interact with me and ask questions through video. And Anna, you're welcome to come. Like I said, everybody that's in the Intuitive Success Club already, just come. And you're all part of it.
Oh, I love it. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for asking. Yeah, it came through last night. I'm like, okay, that's what's happening. We're going with it.
Yeah.
Cool.
So great.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining, just being who you are, following your intuition, and just being just a huge light in the world and just shining bright. You are just a blessing to me, I know, to Anna, and to us all. So thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you, Abby.
Welcome. Lots of love. Thank you, Anna.